I'm gonna do an internet! Whoa!
Die, potato! There's something on your face! It was pain! There's something on your face! It was pain! I like trains. Die, potato. Not today. They said I could never teach a llama to drive. No, llama, no! I am watching your time!
Happy Noodle led the sort of life the working stiff dreams about. Driving a Studebaker, making pies with his wife, taking a dip in the old swimming hole. Yes, sir, Happy Noodle had it good and he wasn't complaining. He always smiled and tipped his hat and said, nice weather we're having, regardless of the weather. Now, as most protagonists do, he had an antagonist, polar opposite, bent on nullifying his happy existence. His name was Sad Noodle, a pathetic excuse for an egg and flour mixture with a little extra water just for tears. He worked at a successful firm and was under a lot of stress, and this is the story of their ultimate battle.
Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle. Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle. Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle. Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle.
One day, as Happy Noodle was out mowing the lawn with a smile and a song, an Edsel pulled up in front of the house. It was Sad Noodle. He leaned his ropey head out the window and said, look, Happy Noodle, I'm sick of being your polar opposite. You know, sad all the time and whatnot. It makes it hard to get along. I've come to challenge you to a duel to the death. So Happy Noodle put down the mower and obliged, saying, if it'll make you happy, and Sad Noodle cringed. He hopped in the back seat and they were off to the gravel pit. Happy Noodle singing all the way and Sad Noodle driving like a madman. This'll end it all, thought Sad Noodle, and they prepared for the fight. Strange sight, two noodles standing face to face, one smiling and one frowning.
Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle. Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle. Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle. Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle.
Thinking on the street, Sad Noodle used said as a whip and tried to trip Happy Noodle, but he slipped and he flipped face first on the ground with a sound like a wet noodle slamming the ground kind of sound. Then Happy Noodle wrapped Sad Noodle up around the tree. Said, see, Sad Noodle, don't you mess with me, cause I'll be the baddest noodle I will ever be. Because I'm
Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle. Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle. Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle. Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle.
So after Happy Noodle untied Sad Noodle, they got back in the car. Sad Noodle, defeated, dejected, depressed, dropped Happy Noodle off at his door and said, you know what, I don't think that helped me very much. And Happy Noodle said, Sad Noodle, why don't you come in for some pie? And Sad Noodle said, no, I'm sorry, I don't like pie that much, but thanks all the same.
Happy Noodle versus Sad Noodle. 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 opposite day.
Oh no!
When I grow up, I want to go to the moon.
Why wait?
Knock, 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 knock. Who is that? Who's that?
Desmond the Moon Man. I'm going to punch your face in the face. Why is the baby on fire?
Buy me more jewelry.
You're gonna die. We're all gonna die.
Alright, guys.
Get to the fire!
Banana fight.
Hey, you want to play catch the knife?
Die, potato! Roll the cheese!
Do you wanna go skateboard? Do you wanna go skateboard?
There's something on your face! Well, I stole your face! It was paid!
Welcome to Standing Up School. And you failed.
Hey man! Hey man!
Hey man. Hey.
I've met a real man.
I baked you a pie!
Oh boy, what flavor?
Pie flavor!
Do you wanna go skateboard? Do you wanna go skateboard? Do you wanna go skateboard?
The end!
Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. The Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle's on the road. Never whipping by. Mind Turtle's got a smile sweet as pie. Flavored pies. Get it, get difficult. You can tell me what to do. Watch out when Mind Turtle says hello to you. Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. The Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. My turtles travel around the world from Cairo to Madrid. Saw a Tony Potato and the island transkid. Visit the desert on the moon in his flying machine. Find the aliens.
The cheese!
Alien technology and built a time machine. Went back in time to 100 million BC. The caveman asked, what kind of animal are you?
Technically, I'm a tortoise.
I am a stegosaurus.
Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. He's the Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. Listen up, I'll tell you where my turtle came from. In a petting zoo one day there was a man named Tom. He shouted drunk science and he drank a cold one. And soon he had made the world's first turtle bomb. The cops tried to stop him before it could explode.
Look out, he's got a nose!
Wait, no he doesn't. Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. The Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle. The Mind Turtle. Mind Turtle.
Mind Turtle and other Astro Movie t-shirts now available at sharkrobot.com. Also get this song on iTunes, links in the description.